first, second, third holidays after a death are challenging. They're impossible because just as you said, like his absence is so big. It's kind of everywhere. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. And for a lot of family members, for a lot of supporters, anybody who's missing the person, I think sometimes we feel a lot of pressure to make this a really good holiday because everybody's so worried about everybody else's hearts, right? So one thing that I really love for people to do is preemptively, I love a preempt, to be able to say, obviously first holiday season is coming up after his death. And I don't know about you, but it feels really heavy. And I'm wondering how you're all feeling about it. There are no rules for what we do this first holiday season, but do any of you have strong feelings about what you want to do? Right? Basically, what you're looking for here is a consensus. Not a consensus. Consensus is the wrong word because consensus is really hard in the best of times. But you're sort of polling for, I want to have like a blowout holiday season just to make it the best one ever. And other people are like, I don't want to see any of you. I want to be alone in a cabin in the woods and not speak to anybody. Like we're just sort of polling to see where everybody is on this. And there's no one right answer, right? So I think there's one thing is just to say, this is a big holiday and everybody's going to have a different feeling about it. And I'm just wondering if any of you know what you might need, what you're feeling like, what you definitely don't want to do, what feels awful. Doing a poll, right? And I would do that just with the people that you actually want to spend time with, right? Start there. For your sisters, you said, right? For your sisters, I might take a different approach and I might, again, preemptively, I might say something like, this is the first holiday season without him. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to need, but I do know that in the limited energy that I have, I'm going to spend whatever it is, the first night of Hanukkah or Christmas Eve or whatever with his family. And the rest of the time, I'm not really sure. So I just want you to know that in case you were thinking of planning a big celebration, that's probably not something I'm going to attend, right? Just right out of the gate. I will not be doing this with you. I will not be spending this time with you. They get to have feelings about that, but they don't get to make you do something you're not comfortable with. So I love a preempt for that. If you want to say something like, I would love to spend some time with you during the holiday season, but that's going to look like a walk in the woods, or that's going to look like tea on solstice. A big family gathering is just not something that I'm comfortable with at this time, right? Set your boundaries in place. So going back to the people that you might want to spend time with, you're going to do that polling thing. What are people feeling? Based on what comes back, you can start thinking, ooh, I don't want to do a giant thing like that, but I might be interested in this thing over here, right? So one sibling wants to have a full day's celebration with a multi-course meal, and you're like, I will feel imprisoned in that. And then somebody else is like, I would really love to have a family dinner where we put his photo at the table and we all share favorite memories. That would feel really good to me. You get to then sort of gauge, what would I really not do and what might I do? And you can have conversations about that, right? You can say something like, I love that so many of you want to have a big, splashy, celebratory event. Like, that's not something I'm probably going to have the bandwidth for, but I'm so glad you're doing that together, right? What you're modeling there is, it's cool that everybody's got different needs, and I'm going to have a boundary on what feels good to me. And that gives other people permission to attend or not attend things that feel right to them, right? I think so often there's sort of like the ringleader in an extended family system who is like, no, this is the first holiday after death and it is going to be a good one. And we are going to do this and we are going to do a guitar circle and like, no. Yeah. Right. So opening that up and right from the start saying everybody's going to have different needs and there's no one right way to do this. And you can attend some things and not attend some other things. And also you can leave at any time. I think that's really important to know. Like, we can get through things that feel big a lot easier. Like, you can stay a lot longer if you know you can leave. Yeah. You can stay a lot longer if you know you can leave. So all of that, like, this is a great time to start doing that, because you don't want to get into a situation like the week before Christmas, somebody's like, I booked us an extended family cruise. Maybe should have rethought that. Right. And then as things get closer to those holiday seasons, you know, the basic foundational self-care stuff applies. Of, if you decided to go to an event, what are your early warning signs that this is starting to get too much for you? Can you take yourself out and go have a break? Can you go for a walk? Can you, what can you do? Can you keep a rock in your pocket, which is one of my favorite go-tos? Like, can you keep a rock in your pocket to remind you in those moments where things are getting too tense or too emotional, or just to, how is this the holidays without him here? Right? Literal touchstones. Yeah. So knowing your early warning signs that you're starting to get a little overwhelmed, so that you can care for yourself before there's a meltdown, before there's a, I can't do this anymore, and you knock the table over and run out of the house, right? Which is so like you. But any of those things. Yeah, that was a very, very wordy answer for what was actually a very short answer of, do some pre-work, ask some good questions, role model for people that there is no one right answer. And that even if we decide on something, everybody is free to leave and take care of themselves as they need to.